Welcome back to the Spoonie Stitcher channel. I'm Shannon the Spoonie Stitcher, you're inside the Stitchery, and I'm so happy you're here today. If you're new, hi, I'm Shannon. I'm the Spoonie Stitcher. A Spoonie is somebody who has a chronic condition, and a Stitcher is somebody who makes art with textiles. This channel is all about creativity. Anything that makes your creative juices flowing, that's what we try to do on this channel. So if that sounds like something that sounds fun to you, maybe hit the subscribe button. Maybe hit like button while you're down there as well. That tells the algorithm you want more stuff like this. Today, I don't know what we're gonna do, but stay tuned and we'll have fun together. Hello, welcome back to another Melick Adventures Collaboration Series. You don't know what that is? Allow me to explain. So what is a MAC, or a Melick Adventures collab? It's a really fun collaboration with a bunch of Disney enthusiasts. You don't have to be a Disney channel to participate. Hosted by Ben and Danielle Melick at the Melick Adventures, their channel. The Melicks pick a theme, and then we do whatever we want with that theme. We could show a collection, we could bake something, we could make something, we could talk about different things in the film that we found inspiring or fun, or the entire video could be fun facts. They really do not limit you on what you can do for this collaboration. It just has to fit the theme. That's it. So they are the second Tuesday and the last Thursday of every month, unless they have to be changed because of holidays. If you want to be involved with one of these projects, contact them. But of course, I am not the only one participating in today's collaboration. Please look at the wonderful list of people down below and go watch their videos too. Today's MAC is all about The Rescuers, 1977 classic. Oh, I love this movie so much. I am one of those people who loves the movies that were during what they called the dark age of Disney. I just love them. Robin Hood, Great Mouse Detective, The Rescuers, all of these. They don't get a lot of love. I think that's wrong. But anyway, today is The Rescuers, 1977. It was a hit at the box office. In fact, in France, it outperformed Star Wars. I know. In Germany, at the time, it was the highest grossing film. What? It did really well here too, by the way, in the US, but wow. As you can see, I have a teensy bit of merch. I still have my golden book from when I was a kid. Like, look. So cute. Aww, couple goals. So cute. So yeah, I have to be really careful. The spine on this one wants to come off. That's how old this is. And then I also have, I used to be a Tsum Tsum subscription box member. And thankfully, one of the ones they decided to make was Orville, Bianca, and Bernard. I love this one. I love this one so much. It's so cute. Now, the mice were attached at one point, but eh. I wanted to make sure I could take them off, so look, they even have their little tails. So here's Miss Bianca. Yes, her hat is fuzzy. I love that detail. This is back when Tsum Tsums were actually cute and well made. And then here's little Bernard. And then, of course, there's Orville, our albatross. He's so cute. This is really soft, too. These wings are really, really soft. Look at his little feet. I don't want to tip the mice, but look at his feet. So, yep. I'm really glad they made that one. So I'm going to start with some fun facts real quickly, but I do have a purpose to this video. So this was the fourth movie made during the Disney Bronze Age. The Rescuers had 3 ideas for a story before this movie that you see now. So it's funny. It was the 4th idea and the 4th movie made during the Bronze Age. I wonder if 4 was important to anyone. They had an idea for a penguin to kidnap a polar bear. Nobody thought that anyone would think a penguin was intimidating. They had an idea for the mice to rescue a prisoner in Cuba, but they did not do that one because of political reasons. Smart. So then they decided to make the villain Cruella de Vil. Have her kidnap a polar bear for, I guess, the polar fur. But it's weird because they also have a drawing of Cruella, which I don't know if I can find it, but I've seen a drawing of Cruella where they actually had Cruella, a Snoops-like character, and Penny. So Cruella was going to be originally the villain. However, 3 people had a problem with this, and God bless them all. Wolfgang Reitherman, who was the director of The Jungle Book, also directed and produced this one. And he was like, I don't know if we should reuse a villain. I just think that's kind of weird. And then Ollie Johnson, you know, one of the 9 old men, he was like, I think if we used Cruella, it would be confusing. And I agree. What does she care about polar bears? I don't know. I think it's weird. And then when they did make the idea the diamond, that doesn't work for Cruella at all. Why would she want the diamond? She's never been obsessed with jewelry. I don't understand that one either. So Ollie Johnson also saw the fact that that just doesn't make any sense. He thought it would be confusing for the audience, and I think he's right. And then Milt Kahl, who had to design the villain, said, I don't want to copy somebody else's design. I don't want to do that. Plus, there was a little bit of rivalry between the 2 designers for Cruella and Medusa, eventually. And Milt Kahl knew he was retiring, and he wanted to go out with a bang. And he's like, I'm going to create a villain that is so much better than Cruella, so much scarier, so much more evil. I'm going to outdo Cruella.
He also modeled her after his ex-wife, who was also Walt Disney's niece, so there's that.
No offense to Cruella. I know she is beloved. I love Madam Medusa. Always have. And no, it is not because she's a redhead. I don't know what it is. Whenever I say I love a redhead on this channel, they're like, oh, because you're a ginger. No. Because their characters were developed well. That is why I like them. I like non-redheads as well. Why that is a comment I get all the time, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I love Madam Medusa. I have since I was little. I thought she was such a great villain. And I actually get a little offended that people think she's basically just a Cruella copycat, because I got a list here that can prove you wrong. The Rescuers was also the first animated Disney film to have its own sequel. Okay, yeah, it was 13 years later, but it still had a sequel, The Rescuers Down Under, which is another fantastic film. Yeah, that had never been done before. Originally, Bianca and Bernard were going to fly on a pigeon, but Ollie Johnson looked into what an albatross does when he flies and then crash lands, and he thought that would be hilarious if, you know, Orville wasn't a very good flyer, but he was very confident. And so he thought the albatross was a great choice. I agree. So he animated Rufus, and he also animated how Penny carries Rufus, which is the cutest thing. Like, it would be so uncomfortable for this cat, but he loves her so much that he lets her just carry him like a rag doll. And that is how a little girl would carry a cat. By the way, not a cat person. I do love the Aristocats. Not a cat person, but Rufus is one of my top 3 favorite Disney cats of all time. I love Rufus, and whenever he talks, I get a little teary. I love that speech. I've written that speech in the front of a journal. It's so beautiful.
Faith is a bluebird you see from afar. It's for real and as sure as the first evening star. You can't touch it, or buy it, or wrap it up tight, but it's there just the same, making things turn out right.
Okay, so I was going to tell you, Medusa versus Cruella. How are they different? How are they the same? Well, they are both materialistic, bombastic, and extremely cruel. Yeah, that's it. That's kind of where the similarities lie. And so many people have used this as an excuse that it's like, oh, Medusa is just a copycat of Cruella. Is she? First of all, their appearance is vastly different. Medusa is a little bit thick. Love a thick girl. Yeah, go girl. I got hips too. And Cruella is like an anorexic ex-fashion model, you know, which in my head, that's probably what happened. She was probably an ex-model who turned fashion designer. That's what it is in my head anyway. And I mean, if you look at her, she's just a stick. She eats 5 calories a day? I mean, Cruella is obsessed with fur. Yes, she has lackeys. Yes, she is cruel to everyone. But she is also composed. She can command a room. Whether it's the animated version or the live action, she commands the space she's in. She has full control. And when she gets angry, it's like an adult is angry. She is like a mad boss. And yes, she has anger issues, obviously. She cannot drive. Yikes. Her obsession does take over. I mean, she is driven by her obsession, which is fur. But she's also controlled enough to make others do her dirty work and think. Like, she's very calculated. Madam Medusa, she loves material things, but she treats them terribly. I mean, let's face it, Cruella does treat her car really badly, but for the most part, her furs are nice, her makeup is all intact. I mean, she looks presentable. Medusa is a sloppy mess. She may have the big coat, but she tosses it on the ground. She may have, a bunch of clothes, but she throws them in a suitcase, smashes them down. She has no respect for her things whatsoever. She constantly tosses them, hits them, breaks them, and it's the thing's fault. It's never her fault. She's acting like a spoiled child. Honestly, every time she gets mad, she is wild. Let's talk about Cruella's henchmen versus Medusa's. So we've got Jasper and Horace, where Cruella is, she treats them like boss employees. And she yells at them, and yes, she does throw a bottle once in a while, but it's to get their attention. She's not actually throwing it at them. If she wanted to, I guarantee that Cruella wouldn't miss. She was trying to get their attention, like, hey, listen to me. I mean, she paces, she can get calm. Medusa can't get calm. She can fake it, but she is never calm. She is constantly obsessed. Yeah, so is Cruella to a point, but Cruella is still like, okay, let me think. And that is very, very different behavior. How she is with her employees is, I'm the boss, you do what I say, or I'll throw you black in the slammer, or I'll blame everything on you, or we don't really know what Cruella was going to do, but it was enough that Jasper and Horace were like, yes ma'am. Medusa with Snoops and then Brutus and Nero. I would consider Brutus and Nero kind of her employees. Yeah, they're her pets, but they're also kind of her employees. Medusa treats Brutus and Nero like they are attack dogs, but she also treats them like pets once in a while, but she's not afraid to bop them on the head with her cane, or yell at them, or whip them. Yeah. And with Snoops, she treats him like, honestly, an abusive spouse. We're not sure what their relationship is, but he acts like a henpecked husband, and she acts like an abusive, angry wife. So, don't know what their relationship is, but they are definitely a dependent duo. That's the other thing. Jasper and Horace, they are fine. They don't need Cruella. She's just their boss. I'm sure they have other bosses too, and they're just here to get paid. Snoops seems kind of dependent on Medusa. He can't make decisions. He can't figure things out on his own. He fails without her until she gets there. Penny keeps escaping. He does not have control. And Medusa has to tell him how to do everything. That's got to get old. He is dependent on her decisions and her presence. When she's not there, as we can see, nothing gets done. So Snoops needs her. And actually, she needs Snoops. Every single time she's in trouble, she yells Snoops, but not in an angry way, in a frightened way. Like, she still expects him to protect her. There's a mouse. Snoops, protect me. The alligators have gotten loose, and I'm headed towards this giant pipe on the boat. Snoops, save me. Every single time she yells Snoops, for the most part, every time she yells his name, it is a frightened or I expect you to protect me in this moment. No matter how I treat you, I expect you to protect me. Cruella does not act like that with Jasper and Horace at all. It is, you do what I say, end of story. Medusa is, you do what I say, and please protect me. So different. These two ladies are not the same person. They are nothing like each other. They have similarities, but so does Bianca and Medusa. I want to talk about the fact that Snoops and Medusa and Bianca and Bernard are mirror reflections of each other. They have a lot in common, if you've never noticed. Also, I don't think it's an accident that Bianca and Medusa both wear shades of purple.
Let's talk costumes real quick. Medusa dresses in red. Very powerful, very passionate. This shows her greed and her power. She also has purple furniture, purple eyeshadow, purple accessories, purple coat, because she thinks she's a queen. Snoops is wearing yellow and purple. Yellow because he is a coward, purple to go along with Medusa because, again, he cannot make decisions without her, so of course he would dress similarly.
I think we're supposed to notice that. So let's talk about Medusa versus Bianca first. Both of them are very driven women. Leaders. They love material things. They do. Bianca does too. We notice this. So let's break it down. Medusa and Bianca both love material things. However, as we've already stated, Medusa treats her things like garbage. She tosses them to the side. She smashes them in a suitcase. When Snoops shows her all the gems, she just tosses it to the side. And that table was full of gems from the cave. It doesn't matter that Penny found all those. That's not what she wants. She wants the big thing. She wants the devil's eye, the diamond of all diamonds. She is obsessed with it. But all of her possessions, she treats terribly, including Brutus and Nero. Yes, okay, she hugs them, she talks to baby talk to them and stuff like that. But she also has no problem whipping them or bashing them on the head. Doesn't treat them well. Bianca, that moment in the airplane when she has her coat and he tells her to fasten her seatbelt good and tight, she goes, I can't, my dress will get wrinkled. Because she cares about her things. And she's constantly like refluffing her hat and she's, she cares about appearance. We know this. She puts on, makeup and stuff like that as Madam Medusa does. But Bianca doesn't let her beauty define her. She's beautiful. She knows this. But this is not something that she is obsessed with. Madam Medusa puts on tons of makeup. I think everybody in the film calls her trashy. A dress that she probably considers very sexy. Her hair is a mess. She wears big, tacky jewelry. She's vain, but she's still sloppy in her appearance. Bianca is very put together. But it also reflects their personalities. Because as I've already explained, Medusa is crazy and wild and bombastic. And her appearance is wild and sloppy and over the top. Bianca, very gentle, calm, patient, and refined, as is the way she dresses and her makeup. Both are leaders. Medusa is a selfish, abusive, toxic leader. Bianca is a gentle, patient, nurturing leader. Both get the job done in different ways. Nurturing is better. Both are driven and determined. Medusa is driven and determined by greed. Bianca is driven by her duty, adventure, morals, and compassion. Both are very different with their partners. Medusa, with Snoops, is abusive, selfish, mean, cruel, name-calling, all kinds of things. She belittles him constantly, which doesn't help his self-esteem. And at the same time, she is dependent on him. If he doesn't screw up, she has no one to blame. She needs someone to blame. She needs someone to blame, and she needs someone to save her. It's a very dependent, very icky relationship, but it's there. Whereas Bianca sometimes she needs to be saved. You know, going down the water hole, the zoo, all of those moments, she genuinely needed to be saved. But at the same time, because she has been so kind and nurturing and patient with Bernard, he's messed up. He feels bad about things. He's not confident. Bianca has looked past all of that. She only pushes him out of his comfort zone when it's absolutely necessary. And honestly, that's what a helper should do. A helpmate. That's who your partner should be. They should help each other. And they do. She reassures him. She's patient with him. If she needs help, he's more than willing because she's already put in the work to be a kind, compassionate person to him. So why wouldn't he help her? Which, of course, helps him fall in love with her. For a moment, let's say that Brutus and Nero are Medusa's pets and Evinrude is pet-like for Bianca. They're both their babies, okay? And they treat them very differently. Yes, Medusa calls them sweet names and she hugs them and she pets them and she's proud of them as long as they don't mess up. When Nero has the mouse in his mouth and he's making a big ruckus, she bashes him on the head with her cane. When they're not going fast enough to keep up with Penny's boat, she whips them like they're horses. Every little moment on the alligators' faces are there. And it's really sad because you could tell they actually do like her. When she shows up, they're excited. And when she calls them over, they're like, yay, we get pets, and they hate Snoops. I think the reason that they never try to eat Penny is not because they would get in trouble or anything, but because they kind of respect the fact that she's not afraid of them. These are big, big animals, and she is a small little girl. She is not afraid of them. Snoops acts like he's not afraid of them, but I think they can smell the fear. They're not stupid. Bianca with Evinrude. Okay, Evinrude is not really a pet. I get that. But she treats him like a little baby, and it's precious. She is worried when Evinrude, she says his carburetor conks out. Which is so cute. She's worried for him. She takes care of him. The very end of the movie, okay, Evinrude shows up wearing nothing. He's not naked. He's just not wearing winter clothes. We know it's winter because on the TV, we can see that everybody is in winter coats. When Penny is having her little interview, everybody is dressed for winter. We know it's cold outside. Evinrude has flown from the bayou back to Bianca and Bernard to give them this note. When you see them with the albatross again, and they all three are going, little Evinrude has a hat and a scarf and mittens. Where do you think he got those from? They didn't come with him. Come on, Bianca totally gave him those. She even tucks him in the little blanket so that he's nice and warm. It's so cute. She treats him like a child. It's so cute. It's precious. And little Evinrude, we will get to because he is a hero. Medusa treats Brutus and Nero like workhorses, tack dogs, all of that. She expects them to do as she says. To be fair, don't we all with our pets? But if they don't, she is abusive towards them. And she completely disregards them at the end of the movie. We will get to that. Honestly, Ursula is a better pet owner than Medusa. I'm just saying. Flotsam and Jetsam, you had it easy. Bianca treats Evinrude so well that Evinrude is like, yes, I will risk my life for you. I will absolutely risk life and limb to save this girl that I have never met because it is important to you. Because you have treated me with love and respect and cared about how I am, why wouldn't I do things for you? Same with Bernard. Bernard is the same way. Okay, yeah, he has a little crush on her. We know that. But still, you do all of this for me. Why wouldn't I do stuff for you? That's the way to be a leader. That's not. Snoops versus Bernard. Where do I begin? Both men are nervous, bumbling, indecisive, cowards at first, followers, not leaders, and they both want to please women for completely different reasons. Snoops is a selfish coward who is greedy, just as greedy as Medusa. He's just not obsessed. And he literally laughs at Medusa at the end. She is in trouble. The alligators are snapping at her. He is on a little raft laughing at her predicament. Bernard is a selfless, gentle, caring, still cowardly, but when he needs to be brave, he steps up. Penny and Bianca have been in danger. He steps up because he cares about them. He cares for Penny out of duty and the fact that she is a small child and he has a heart. And Bianca, okay, yeah, he's in love with her and he doesn't want anything to happen to her. So that's why he does things. Snoops wants to please Medusa, yeah, so he doesn't get yelled at or hit or kicked or anything like that. But I think a small piece of him is so dependent on her. Like I said before, he can't make decisions. So he needs her. They have a very strange symbiotic relationship. They are definitely dependent on each other. Bernard and Bianca are not dependent on each other. They can survive without each other. But that's the best part. Both of them are two completely separate individuals who don't need each other. They choose each other. Yes! Thank you, Disney, for doing this. Now, there are certain situations, yes, where it's dangerous and they need each other, but that's a different kind of need. I'm talking about they're not dependent on each other like these two. Bernard can be brave when it's important. Does that mean he's less scared? No! He's terrified. He could perish. But the idea of Penny or Bianca perishing instead, he can't live with. So he won't let that happen. In the cave, when Bianca steps up and is like, okay, Penny's too scared, I'll go, Bernard sees the danger and he's like, no, I'll go. He is not trying to be a, I'm the man, I will do this. No, it is, you could get hurt and I can't live with that. So I would rather risk my life for you. He's a man. Snoops isn't. Medusa is in danger a few times and he tries, but not at the risk of his own life. Like when she goes wild with the gun and stuff, he ducks for cover. To be fair, so would I. She cannot shoot. But, she hits her pets. She gets his hair. He made the right decision, to be honest. But, yeah. He tries to take the mice out with a broom, or his foot. And she goes after them with a firearm. Then he ducks for cover. Not the worst decision, but he only protects her to a point. Once it gets super dangerous, he's like, I'm out. I'd rather save my own neck. When she is getting attacked at the alligators, by the end, he is just laughing at her predicament instead of trying to help her. Not a loving relationship at all. If you want to talk about these two being couples, or at least duos, I would say that Bernard and Bianca represent the healthy couple. This is the couple that Penny should end up with. Their relationship is a two-way street. I do for you, you do for me, because I care about you. I don't need you, I choose you. We have things in common, but the things that make us different are the things that help complement each other. And they put Penny first, as any good parent should. They put Penny first in everything. They are risking their lives for a girl they've never met because, yes, they have a sense of duty, but also she is a child and they do not like that she is stuck in this situation. And even when their backup hasn't arrived yet, Bianca and Bernard are like, we have to do something. We have to save Penny. They could leave. They could leave at any time. They choose to stay. They choose to protect their child. Medusa and Snoops are the toxic, abusive parents. They are the relationship that no one should be in, ever. They are dependent on each other, but they hate each other. Yikes. There is no affection on either side. If Medusa ever shows affection, it's manipulation. Snoops will let Medusa suffer because he does not love her, but at the same time, he can't let anything permanently happen to her because then he would be stuck. Because as we said, He's a mess. And he needs her. As awful as it is, they need each other. Bianca and Bernard don't need each other, they choose each other. Need each other, toxic. Choose each other, healthy. Okay, did Medusa become alligator chow at the end of the movie? I actually have the answer. No, she didn't. I think what actually happened, don't worry, I can prove she didn't, hold on. But I think what actually happened at the end of the movie was that the alligators had had enough. They had been whipped, and I don't think she'd ever done that before because the alligators actually look surprised. Like, whoa, why are you whipping us like crazy, like we're workhorses and stuff? She is standing on them, which actually they probably wouldn't have minded because she's their boss. Why not? But when she started whipping them, they had pain. You could see the wincing on their faces, but they also looked mad at the end. And I think that they were going after her, like, see how you like it and stuff. But the alligators are still in that toxic realm. They need her. So I don't think they would hurt her. In fact, we know they didn't. In 1980, there was a book put out called The Rescuers: Trouble in Devil's Bayou. It is the sequel before The Rescuers Down Under. It is written by Disney Studios. Therefore, to me, that's canon. If anything is a book written by Disney Studios, then it is canon. So this is what happened. Medusa and Snoops are back together. The alligators are there. Penny has escaped, so now they have to find a new treasure. They do. A lot of other stuff happens in the book. Evan Rood goes to get the rescuers to bring them back. The dig site is next to Ellie Mae and the little critter's house, so, they want to get rid of these guys. And so they scare them off. But Medusa, Snoops, and the alligators all leave together. Because again, they cannot be without each other. They are stuck. Do they like each other? No, but they are stuck together. So, nobody passed away. Nobody became alligator chow. And they all escaped. Again. There's even comics in the Netherlands that have stories with Medusa and the alligators and Snoops. There's even one where Snoops gives Medusa a Christmas present. I'm telling you, there was something there. There's some kind of relationship there. I don't think they're just business partners because it's different. It's very different. Like I said, it's different from Jasper and Horace and Cruella. Is it healthy? No. But do I think that there is a relationship between Medusa and Snoops? Yeah, something. Either they're exes that are stuck together, or they are dating, but it's the worst. What do you guys think in the comments? I'm really curious because, it's never clarified on what Snoops and Medusa are with each other, but it's more than just a boss and henchman relationship, because there's too many other examples of villains with henchmen that are nothing like this. And lastly, Evan Rood is the hero of the movie. You cannot convince me otherwise. Do I think that Bernard and Bianca are heroes? Absolutely. Do I think that the little critters in the swamp are heroes? Yes. Do I think that Penny is a hero? Yes. All of that. But Evan Rood is the tiniest animal in the movie, and he risks everything to save this girl, including a swarm of bats. Without Evan Rood, there's no one to give the critters the signal. He knows this. He is trapped in a glass bottle with bats waiting for him to emerge so they can snap him. He is exhausted. When he lands in Ellie Mae's chimney, he has completely passed out. In fact, they even have to do something to reinvigorate him. He risked everything, including pure, absolute exhaustion. That poor little dragonfly. Oh, that little dragonfly is the hero of the movie. Justice for Evan Rood. He did everything. And now he is the messenger of the Rescue Aid Society, and I will never forgive Disney for not putting Evan Rood in the sequel. But that's another video. Thank you so much for joining me today. I know this was a long one, but I really wanted to talk about this, and I hope you found this extremely interesting because I think it's really fun to talk about. Remember to check out all the other videos down below. I know I will be. And remember to check out, of course, the Melicks at the Melick Adventures because they put all of this on. Thank you so much for being here today. Remember, life happens, yarn helps, and Spoonies can stitch it up too. Bye.